on his free throw shooting as we speak, but obviously his Achilles heel has always been his free throw shooting. But Jason Kidd, Lakers assistant coach now, had this to say. He's gone back more closer to his high school free throws, and he's shooting over 80% since he's done that. He's always searching to get better and trying to find the way to fix something. And that was probably the one thing in his game that he needed to work on. I could second that emotion. So, Shannon Sharp, will LeBron's new style of free throw shooting be a blip or a trend in his improvement?
Skip, of course, I believe. I mean, you see, as Jason mentioned, that since he's gone back to closely shooting like he did in high school, he's up to 80%. Skip, that's what great players do. You work on an aspect of your game that you feel you need weak. You're only as strong as the weakest link in your game. So what does he feel that he needs the most work on? His free throw percentage. I know he's working out. I know he's putting time in the weight room, doing his cardio. But I can assure you he's working on his free throw percentage. He's working on his free throws. And that's what gets Skip. That's what, if you're a baseball player, if guys get in a slump, they do something different to try to get out of that slump. They don't still do the same thing, do they? You try to improve. So he's trying to improve, and rightfully so. So, no, I am not surprised that he's working on his game. I'm not surprised that he's starting to see the fruit of his labor, because that's what great players do. They find something that they need to work on, they work on it, they get it fixed, and then they patch up that. So I expect to see him shoot probably like 82, 83% come playoff time on the way to winning a title. That's what I do see. You see that too? Good. Glad we could see the same thing.
Yeah. I don't see that. And I'm going to quote the great LeBron James moments after he won his first ring against the baby Oklahoma City Thunder. He said on national TV live, "It's about damn time." Well, it's about damn time, LeBron, that you improved your free throw shooting in year 17. We're at the end of year 17, and it took this long for you to get on any kind of a hot streak. Look, Shannon, I'm going to give your man this. I have never, ever, in all my years of covering and watching basketball, seen a man change his free throw shooting routine as often as LeBron changes his. It's one thing after another, almost on a weekly or at least monthly basis. And at least he's desperate enough to try this, try that, try this, try that. ESPN counted in the 16-17 season that LeBron changed his routine. They had all the videos up of each form. He changed it 18 times. They had 18 videos of different routines he used in 16-17. Well, it's extraordinary because after a while, it's like the golf swing. You can go to 18 different teachers and they'll have 18 different ideas about how to change your swing. But all that really matters in the golf swing is what's the club doing at impact with the golf ball. All that matters with the free throw shooting is what's happening right there as you release the basketball. Where is it heading? Is it spinning this way, the way it should spin? What's your touch? What's your arc? What is your direction? Can you repeat that stroke under pressure? LeBron went to some bizarre new form, and I can't believe it's his high school form. In those, remember, we saw in the last 3 games, there were the 2 on Friday night and then Sunday against the Bucks and then the Clippers. He went 24 of 29 from the free throw line in those games, and that's what Jason Kidd is talking about. That was sensational. I mean, it wasn't 29 of 29 like we see James Harden often do.
Stop. See, there you go.
Well, okay, but by LeBron standards, 24 of 29 was extraordinary. But what was he doing? I told you it wouldn't last because LeBron was coming to a dead stop in the set position and going almost catatonic. He was turning into the frozen one at the free throw line, waiting, and I'm screaming at my TV, LeBron, just shoot it. Just let it go. Just release it. You can't shoot free throws like that. The great free throw shooters have a fairly quick routine that creates momentum into the shot, where it's 1, 2, 3, shoot. And you do the same thing in the same rhythm, at the same pace every time, and it becomes automatic. 1, 2, 3, shoot it. And in this case, if you come to a dead stop and you're frozen, you're catatonic. LeBron, shoot it, just shoot it. It's not going to be able to sustain because you're going to think about it too much. The thoughts are going to creep into your psyche. The demons are going to take over, and you're going to start missing. So after 24 of 29, he comes back against Brooklyn at home in the final game that we got to see, a game they lost, and he went 1 for 5. And in the second half of a game they lost by a couple of points, he went 1 for 4. Okay, there's a better way to do this. And it actually haunts me that LeBron James in his career has been such a poor free throw shooter by his standards. Because if you just look at him, all the high volume shooters, think about this, that they're look at this. We got 19 players with 390 or more free throw attempts this season. 19 players, high volume free throw shooters. LeBron is 15th on that list. That's not greatness, because the 4 players that are below him are Bam and Montrez and Giannis and Rudy Gobert. Well, come on, LeBron, you got to be better than that. You're the point guard for the Lakers. You got to be able to make free throws at an 80% clip, and he's a career 74%. He's also shot the 4th most free throws, if I combine regular and playoffs, the 4th most in NBA history, and you've only made 74%. Well, Kareem, the guy you say is the greatest college player ever, as a pro, Kareem at 7 feet 2 inches tall, where his hands are almost too big to shoot free throws, he made 72% to LeBron's 74%. And then, Shannon, if we look at just a collection of the greatest players, let's do Michael Jordan. He was 84%. Larry Bird was 89. Magic, 85. Kobe, 84. Steph, obviously, is all-time great at 91. Kevin Durant's 88. Dirk was 88. James Harden's at 86, but he's the highest volume free throw shooter we've ever seen. And LeBron is still down at 74. The gap in percentage of those 10 percentage points is so huge. You're leaving thousands of points on the table. And it perplexes me that LeBron can be that great and that bad at free throw shooting. I don't know. How do you explain that? You've never been able to.
I don't. And I've never professed that LeBron is a great free throw shooter. He'll tell you he's not a great free throw shooter. With all those points he's left on the table, guess what? He's still the 3rd leading scorer. And he still trails Michael Jordan in field goal attempts. So with all the points that Michael have accumulated in front of him, like you said, they're free. And all the more field goal attempts that Michael has attempted more than LeBron, we passed him. He in the dust. We 3rd, about to go to 2nd in a year and a half, tops. And then in 3 years, we'll be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, shooting 74% from the free throw line. Ta-da!
Okay. So your man has tried everything from, remember for a while he was trying kissing each wrist for his mom and his wife. Remember, He tried blowing on his hand. I'm not sure what that does, but maybe blow some luck into his hand. He tried the Jerry Stackhouse, the deep knee bends where you bend your knees almost where your knees are touching the hardwood. I don't know. It's always something with him. And my concluding point is that this hurts him at the end of games, because if he trusted himself at the free throw line, he is simply the greatest attacker of the basket we have ever seen. There's never been a freight train like LeBron at 6'9", 260, ambidextrous, left to right. He's better going left, attacking the basket, and just powering people, just bullying people at the rim. Well, the later you get in a close, tight game, the more he runs from the free throw line because he's afraid to go shoot the 2 free throws in a clutch situation because he's not sure. Well, I can't blame him or condemn him for that. So he always opts for the deep 3 because nobody can say that was a really hard, high degree of difficulty shot. And if he trusted himself at the free throw line, he'd be invincible as a closer because he'd just keep taking you to the basket and to the free throw line. But instead, he is simply the worst late game, close game superstar free throw shooter we have ever seen. So I even look at his fourth quarter shooting. If you just look at all the shots taken, the fourth quarter free throws taken since 1996, 71 have taken 1,000 plus in the fourth quarter or overtime. And LeBron is 53rd of 71 in fourth quarter made free throws. It's just, it gets worse as you progress in the game. So Shannon, I would hope that wherever LeBron is during this layoff right now, he's probably watching Undisputed right now because I know he hangs on our every word. But later today, he should be out in the backyard with his kids shooting 1,000 free throws with a new routine that goes 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
No.
I'm sorry.
First of all, Skip, baby.
You gotta fix that.
You keep telling me LeBron doesn't trust himself. He trusts himself. He just doesn't trust the guys with the whistles because sometimes they'll call a foul and sometimes they won't. So what we do, we take it out of their hand. We drop that 40-foot 3 on you, and there's nothing the officials or you can say about that.
So now we've got LeBron James shooting logo 3s. It has come to
Logo
that.
LeBron,
So
that's what they call
enough
it.
of that.
Logo LeBron.
Yeah, logo LeBron. Up next, this might be my favorite topic of the day because I can't wait for it. LeVar Ball is at it again. He is threatening to ruin his oldest son's new stop with the New Orleans Pelicans.